But you need to get a leader. You need a sharp black man. Hallelujah. That know how to go in and come out. That's what Solomon said. Father, teach me how to go in and come out. Don't give me no money now. I'm not praying for money, Father. But show me how to go in and come out and lead these people of Israel. That's what King Solomon said. Now, God could make him rich, but he wouldn't ask for no money. He had to learn how to go in and come out. Dealing with the heathens. He had already dealing with Hadad the Edomite, which was his enemy. He had all kind of enemies, King Solomon had. His own brother was his enemy because he was born in an adulterous situation. And he said, the reason I'm darker than my other brothers is because they made me keep the vineyard, and the sun made me darker than them. We are brown-skinned people. But we get in the sun, we get a little darker. King Solomon told him that. Said, look, man, I'm black and I'm pretty, he said in Songs of Solomon 1 and 5. But I'm darker than the rest of my brothers because they made me keep the vineyard, because they didn't like my mother. Because my daddy took my mother from her husband and had him killed. But God made him the king. A sharp black man, which that's what you need. You don't need none of these white folks rubbing over you all the time. Go get you a sharp black man and vote him in. If you need some teaching, bring him to me. I'll teach him. You don't need no older man now, because he can't go and come like he wants to. You got to get one of these young bucks, one of these young men, 45, maybe 50, smart, know how to wheel and deal, know how to deal with the devil, his demons, know how to deal with these white slick folk. Gather yourself together, he said, now, and get you a sharp man. Hallelujah. There's one out there somewhere. You got all these women representing you. The women ain't supposed to represent. They don't know how to be dealing with these white folks. That's when they would fire a black. Most of these women got black men's jobs anyway, but they don't know how to deal with the black man, because they know they call him the angry black man. They think, well, man, this guy may come in here today and hit the boss in the mouth, because he so depressed. They don't oppress these black men so much that the Bible says oppression makes a wise man mad, and they don't oppress the so-called black brothers so much that they don't know what to do at all. They can't walk the street at night, not unless they're going to get stopped and killed, because most of them got some kind of situation going on in their life. You know, that's what the captivity did to us. But you should pray for a strong black man that know how to wheel and deal with these white folk. Man, they are slick. I tell you, they slick, but they can't be slicker than Israel, because Israel got power with God and man. They couldn't be slicker than Daniel, Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel kept his kingdom going when he was eating straw like an ox, with feathers growing all around on his head, because he was trying to be a god, and he's a man. Now, you got to get one before this election is over, because this man that they're trying to put in, that want to practice socialism in America and make everybody poor, is a slick white man. Oh, he's slick as he can be. You ain't black if you don't vote for me, he said. He know he's dealing with a bunch of dumb Negroes that don't know what they do. and he's taking advantage of them. I'm going to try to wake them up if they listen to me. He's only picking one of your women because the women do the most voting. Ain't that many black men vote anyway because they got records and everything, and they just done gave up on life because of the captivity. They can't find no decent job. If they do find one, they got to walk around like they're a little baby or something, unless they're going to get fired. They won't do what the Most High told them to do anyway. The Most High told them to be businessmen. He ain't never told you to take no job for no white folks. He said, I'm sending you to the captivity, and I want you to build your own house and your own business, and I want you to be nice and keep the neighborhood clean. And in your enemy's prosperity, you will have prosperity. These white folks can't eat all this stuff that's in America. Some of it, you're going to be able to eat some of it, but you got to know how to eat it without being a slave, without being a Democrat. You can get money just like they can, especially with the internet the way it is now. They don't know what color you are. Just put your business down. Now, I'm here I got to not only teach you how to be a saint or a righteous person, I got to teach you how to live in this world until Jesus Christ comes. Because we got a little more time before he comes. Now let's read it, 2 John chapter 1, verse 9 through 11. Read it out loud.
Whosoever transgresseth and abideth not in the doctrine of Christ hath not God.
Now, if they pass in same-sex marriage and transgressing, they have not God. Did you hear that? Whosoever transgressing means that you are breaking the laws of God and abide not in the truth, have not God. That's reading the plague is on them because they don't have God. They done broke God's commandments. Are you listening to me? Now read that again, Brother Rick, because that's in the Bible that God chose you to read.
Whosoever transgresseth and abideth not in the doctrine of Christ hath not God. He that abideth in the doctrine of Christ, he hath both the Father and the Son.
That the ones that obey the doctrine of Christ has both the Father and the Son. These Democrats don't pay God no attention. If they did, they would not pass same-sex marriage or killing a baby in the womb. Y'all got to wake up and realize what's going on. You're just doing dumb stuff. You think God gonna take it. He ain't gonna take it no more. Whosoever transgress, whosoever sins, transgressing means you're sinning. You don't have God. They done passed all these laws that's causing sin, and the plague is just running, and it ain't gonna run out like you think it is. They ain't gonna find nothing to stop this plague until they stop this wickedness. Now we got a good chance for this plague to stop. If they put Donald Trump back in the White House, the plague can stop because he's going to go against the sins that the Democrat has passed to make legal. You can't legalize sin. You can't legalize wrongdoing. You can't legalize robbing a bank. Everybody robbed one. God ain't trying to stop you from sinning. You're going to keep on sinning until you get converted. But you can't legalize it. You can't legalize sin, baby. Who in the world ever heard of legalizing bad behavior? And we got to pray that Donald Trump can get back in, get the Supreme Court going his way. They'll get rid of same-sex marriage. They'll get rid of abortion. They'll get rid of this other dumb stuff they're doing. And then we have 4 more years of maybe a little success before the mark of the beast come up. Because in the prophecy they're not in prophecy. America's not in prophecy. The only prophecy against America and Britain, that's when Britain had to come out because of the European Union, because everybody that's in that European Union is going to be destroyed by China and Russia, according to Revelation 16 chapter. But Britain had to come out because God told the prophecy on Britain and America was, Israel, I'm going to choose you again, and you take them captives whose captives you were and rule over your oppressors. You think they're going to get by with 400 years of captivity like this without having to serve and give Israel a chance to get revenge? But God said, revenge is mine. Don't you try to get it, black Israel. You just stand still and see the righteousness of God. I got this in my hand. You know, sometimes we want to take God's place. And God has to tell us, now you just stand still now. I got this thing. He told Moses, you just stand still, Moses. I got this. Now what's in your hand? Moses says, a rod. Then stretch it out then. It's going to do the same thing it did when you did it before, when you turned it into a serpent. Now stretch it out. Moses stretched out the rod and it budded, and he opened the Red Sea with it. We got this thing, baby, in your hand. If you just get together and get you a strong black man, let them women come on, sit down, and get you a strong black marriage in all these cities. A strong black mare that know how to deal with white folks. He gonna stop the killing. He gonna stop the nastiness that's in the neighborhood, and he gonna make little Junior stay in his little rump up. He ain't gonna let him get by with the dumb stuff he's getting by with now. Democrats don't care how nasty you is, as long as you don't come over in their neighborhood with that nasty stuff. We need a strong black man, baby. Oh, I wish Obama was that strong black man, because he had it made. He was our guy. We all ran to vote for him. I know the old lady, she was 99, almost 99, and she said, if I could just live 1 more year and see a black president, oh, I'd be wonderful. I used to work in her house for her, do some work for her. And she lived long enough to see Obama. She lived long enough to see Obama, and she was so happy. He was supposed to be our Samson. He's supposed to be our King David. He was supposed to represent all the great deliverers for us. He was supposed to deliver us. He's supposed to be our Joseph. He's supposed to be our Joseph in everything. He was supposed to be everything to us that we needed to raise up. No, he loves sin too much. He loved being too liberal. So, I believe we can get another one. Now, we can't get another one. Listen to this. Then we just got to gather ourselves together, and all of us got to become a deliverer. Did you hear what I said? If we can't find another black strong man, we all got to just gather together ourselves, and all of us got to turn into strong leaders until Jesus come. Clean up our own neighborhood, clean up our own personality, clean up our own way of doing things. Make our little bad kids sit their little rump down. Don't let them get away with the stuff they're doing. Take the guns out of their hand ourselves. You know, take our neighborhoods back from these little criminals that's running around doing all this dope and stuff. We may have to do that. Now, whosoever transgress and have not, read that again, Brother Rick. We in 2 John 1, verse 9, all the way down to 11. Read it again.
Whosoever transgresseth and abideth not in the doctrine of Christ hath not God. He that abideth in the doctrine of Christ, he hath both the Father and the Son. If there come any unto you and bring not this doctrine, receive him not into your house, neither bid him Godspeed. For he that biddeth him Godspeed is partaker of his evil deeds.
Did you hear that? If you take yourself down there and vote for this crook, you are promoting his bad behavior. That's what God said. You are partakers of his own deeds. Did you hear what he said? You are guilty. You are guilty, and God's going to pay you back for your guilty nastiness. Now, I want you to read that one more time so the people can find it. I want y'all to turn to 2 John chapter number 1, verse 9 through 11, and listen to this one more time.
Whosoever transgresseth and abideth not in the doctrine of Christ hath not God. He that abideth in the doctrine of Christ, he hath both the Father and the Son. If there come any unto you and bring not this doctrine, receive him not into your house, neither bid him Godspeed. For he that biddeth him Godspeed is partaker of his evil deeds.
Did you hear that? Come on now, dead Jacob. Wake up and smell the coffee. You can't vote for this guy. You bidding God, you just as guilty as he is when the next baby get killed in the womb, and the next boy turn into a sissy, or the next girl turn into a lesbian and get married. You just as guilty as they are. And God gonna be mad at you, and you don't want God mad at you. You need to get yourself together. Somebody got to tell you the truth. Somebody got to love you enough to tell you the truth, baby. You're going to be a protector of his sins. Now, I know a million of you going to go do it in a way because you're just that dumb. And God can't do it. He ain't going to change you. Because you got he said, I'm setting before you good and evil, and he wants you to choose. He ain't gonna break your will. He don't love you that much no more because you done messed him up so bad. He only breaks the will of those who he loves that's willing to be obedient. He chastises them. Rest these little folk, man, they only a remnant of them going home anyway. That it aggravated God so bad. Now we're trying to give you good information. We're not teaching no racism or nothing. We're just teaching choice. Some somebody died, somebody got beat up, somebody got hit in the head to get you the vote. But didn't nobody teach you how to vote after you got the power to vote. You needed some strong black man to teach you how to vote. White folks ain't gonna teach you how to vote. They didn't want you voting anyway. See, now you got the freedom to make a choice. And voting made you powerful. You became powerful. You just didn't know it when you were able to vote. That means you had power to come in the room. That was another story that I did when I was a kid. I was a nice little boy, and my grandmother had taught me how to be real decent and have a nice personality. And I was only 15 years old, but the lady didn't know I was 15, and she gave me a job at the Hilton Hotel. She was in charge of housekeeping, and she said, "You want a job?" You know, I was washing dishes there, and she said, well, she seen me one day, she said, "Would you like to work for me instead of working in the kitchen downstairs, down in the lunchroom?" I said, "Yeah." Her name was Miss Robertson. And she said, "Okay, now, well, the job I'm going to give you, I want you to set up all the business rooms for the businessmen when they come in with their group. I want you to put the water on the table. I want you to make sure the tables had clean tablecloths. And when they get through, I want you to fold everything back up. And that's what you're gonna do for me during the day." Now I did all day. They meet at 1:00. They got through about 3. I clean up the place. And then I didn't have to go. I wouldn't even stay on the job. I'd just go down and start gambling somewhere. You know. Her name was Miss Robertson. She really liked me. That's how I learned how to dress. I used to see all them businessmen come in with those beautiful suits on, and sometimes I would even listen to what they were saying. And I said, I'm gonna be like this. Miss Robertson, nice, beautiful white lady. She was a blessing to me, you know. And some of the guys in housekeeping got jealous. They wanted a fighting carry on, man, because I had the job. You know, ain't nothing wrong with working with the white people, but you got to get smart to work with them. You can't work with no white folks and you ain't smart as they are. They gonna take advantage. They on top. You ain't on top. But if you know how to play the game, ain't nothing wrong with working with them. I could work with Donald Trump. Donald Trump, if he had some real sense, he'd have some brothers working with him anyway. You don't need all them white folks. He done fired so many white folks, it's a shame. But if he had some sharp brothers working with him, they could walk him through all this dumb stuff. He don't know nothing. He just was a special kid that they put back up on the wire when he fell off. Because he worked on a net. They just don't let you work on no net. You fall, it's over with. They put you on the wire and you get one chance. And if you fall, then that's the end of you, period. But they're going to pick the little white boy back up and put him up there again. Because they got to keep white folks with money in their hand because it's white America. Donald Trump filed bankruptcy 5 times. But he owed the bank so much money, they said, "Man, get on back out there and make some more money so we can get our money back." If you had to do with the black, what you get on the wire, you got one chance. One chance. You know, I went to the bank, I know again, I wanted to borrow some money. So the guy told me, he said, "Well, we're going to lend you $500,000, but that's the limit." He said, "But we ain't going to, if you want to go to another bank and borrow some money, we ain't going to Don't tell them, you ain't got to tell them that we lent you anything. So I went to another bank and I bought another $500,000. But my white friend that went with me one time, he said, how much do y'all, what's y'all limit? They said $5 million. He said, I'll be back to get the $5 million. And he lent him $5 million, the white friend of mine. They don't care nothing about it. You know, you get one chance, and if you don't qualify, it's out. That's mean when you got to have you got to be 10 times smarter than these white folks. Daniel was 10 times smarter than Nebuchadnezzar. He's gonna kill everybody because he and them know what he dreamt. In other words, I'm gonna tell whoever heard of you dreaming something at night and you done forgot that somebody gonna be to tell you what it is. He said, I'll kill everybody if y'all don't tell me what I dreamt last night. Daniel said, don't go to killing nobody. King, I'm gonna go to sleep at night and I'm gonna dream the same thing you dreamt. Now don't be in no hurry to kill nobody. And he went to sleep and dreamt the same thing. And Nebuchadnezzar made him third ruler in the kingdom. Look at our little black brother Joseph. He was a second in command in Egypt because he dreamt the thing, they was dreamers, and he dreamt the famine and showed Pharaoh how to handle it. You're smart as you can be, but you won't listen to nobody that can wake you up and let you know, get rid of, they cut your name off so that when you cut somebody's name off, they become dumb. Because they don't know who they are. How in the world are you going to know who you are and you don't even know your name? You really ain't dumb, but you just need somebody whose name ain't been cut off psychologically to tell you who you are. They can't cut my name off because my stuff is in my head. They can call me Robert Campbell all the way to the end of my life. That don't bother me. I know who I am. I know how to play the same game these people are playing. I play the game. Now, I can't get what they get because they got a white face and I got a pretty brown face. But I know the game. I know how to play the game with them. I mean, hey, I ain't sitting around waiting on nobody to send me no stamps. I can't buy no $1,000 suit with no stamps. I can't buy no $1,000 pair of shoes with no stamp. You got to wake up, baby. I know you're going to say I'm hard on you, but I'm trying to wake you up and let you see who you're playing game with. These people are as slick as they can be. You know. Now, we got all our beautiful athletes. They are rich, but they don't know what to do with no money. They got all the millions of dollars, and they don't even come together and become black capitalism. All the money that all these black boys got that play this sport game, whatever sport game it is, they could start Black Wall Street. That's how this white man got rich, playing President Kennedy's daddy is the one set Wall Street up. Joe Kennedy set it up. And he set it up for the Catholic Church because he was a Catholic. And the same game that he set it up for them, I do the same thing. You know, because I'm a pastor too. I play the same game that the Catholic Church play. They don't play no different game. I ain't studying about none of these folk talking about Baptists. They don't know what they're doing. They've got a bunch of people gathering around. Every Baptist is a Catholic anyway. How you think you got to be a Baptist? There was only one church, God said, and that was a Catholic church, in his church